There's no movement on Lamar Jackson. I was speaking to a source this morning, and I said, help me understand this, because the NFL Players Association says that it's a brutal conspiracy against Lamar Jackson. So this is DeMaurice Smith. And he recently wrote on the NFL Players Association website that the owners are, quote, potentially colluding against highly sought-after players by refusing to offer fully guaranteed contracts. This is all about Deshaun Watson. Here's something to factor in. There's nearly 2,000 players who were under contract in 2022. How many players do you think had fully guaranteed contracts? If you said 112 out of 2,000, you would be correct. The problem I had with the Lamar Jackson situation is the timing of all of the owners who came out and said, we're not interested, we're not interested. It was like a mass email, a blast that came out. We're not interested. So nobody was interested, and nobody was interested at the exact same time. That sounds like colluding. Here's the issue. My source said that the owners do not want Lamar Jackson to get that fully guaranteed deal. They don't want him to get a Deshaun Watson deal, because if you do, now that means Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, and Joe Burrow are going to get the same contracts. They don't want to reset the quarterback market. They want this to be a standalone. The Browns were stupid. They overpaid for Deshaun Watson. They had to. But the owners, and this has been well reported, not happy with what the Browns did with Deshaun Watson. They want to look at this as that's a standalone contract. That ain't happening. But I go back to a team like the Colts. You've been looking for a replacement for Andrew Luck for a long time. Jim Irsay can be a little squirrely. He can be an outlier. And maybe he would go, let's bring in Lamar Jackson. Now, do I have to give him 5 years, $250 million guaranteed? Is there any kind of middle ground? And I also brought this up. A source said, you know what has really hurt Lamar Jackson over the last couple of years? He hasn't been able to play the game off the field. And I said, explain. And this is a front office person. And he said, he needs to be more like OBJ. OBJ has his name out there all the time. There's always reports about him. There's always rumors about him. There's no reports, no rumors about Lamar Jackson. Zip. And you have to create that. And sometimes it's false. You know, OBJ going to the Cowboys. He's going to the Cowboys. Oh, Cowboys are interesting. You created that. Now, OBJ's still waiting to be signed, and, the big hang-up might be how much money he wants, but there is interest in OBJ. There's no interest in Lamar Jackson publicly. And I keep thinking, if I'm the Colts, what can I get him for? I have to give up 2 first-round picks. What can I get him for, or what do I have to pay him when I give up those 2 first-round picks? And would Baltimore match that? This way, I don't have to give him 5 years, $250 million, but I can say to him, how about we do a 3-year deal, and I give you $150 million, $140 million guaranteed. And then you'll be ready for another contract. And, these salary caps are going up and up and up. Could I do that? Could I get away with that? Yes, Eden.
Would you trust somebody who says, after the way this contract has gone, no, trust me, then there's another one? You know what I mean?
I'm looking at it from the Colts' perspective. As far as Lamar Jackson, he's not going to budge off this, I don't think.
I mean, this one hasn't exactly gone easily for him.
No, it hasn't.
And he's only going to have more wear and tear the next time down the road.
Absolutely. And that's why I don't want to give him 5 years. But if I say to him, I'll give you 3 years, guaranteed, and you're going to make $50 million, close to $50 million a year. All right? New salary cap coming up in a couple of years. Maybe he becomes a little different quarterback. What if he stays healthy? What if he stays healthy for 3 years? Then he's going to be, 29? Now, is going to be a good enough passer that you're going to say, all right, let's bring him back for another 3-year deal. But I still think he's going to stay in Baltimore. And I think I wonder if he's going to show up for camp. I wonder, what are his options right now? But as it stands, no owners are interested in him, but they're not going to tell you right now. But there's no whispers. And I find that remarkable. OBJ has more interest. Now, he's cheaper, and he's had 2 ACLs. Lamar Jackson's a former MVP. And still, I don't even think he's reached his prime. I don't. But would I pay that? No, I would not. $250 million guarantee? No, I would not. Yeah, Paul.
I like your plan, like the idea of him taking less guaranteed for 3 years. But if he was open to that, he would have done it a year ago or 6 weeks ago with the Ravens. That's a problem. It's just this weird thing that his situation is getting worse. He's getting older. He's getting more injured. He's getting more expensive. Yeah. And now you have to throw in 2 first-round draft picks. If he were a pure free agent, this might not be that big of a deal. Someone would want him.
But I wonder what Joe Burrow is going to get. Because if I'm Joe Burrow, I say, well, I'm in the same division as Deshaun Watson. I'm going to play against him twice, and I'm a better quarterback than him. I've gone to a Super Bowl. I don't cause any problems. There's no issues with me. I want $250 million guaranteed. And this is an organization that is thrifty in the Cincinnati Bengals. What about the Chargers? What's Justin Herbert worth? Jalen Hurts. Now, Jalen Hurts, I'd say, do it one more year. We'll take care of you. Coming off that Super Bowl, I don't think there'd be too many detractors with him, but I would say do it one more year, and we're gonna take care of you. Yeah, Paul.
It feels like the Bengals have no negotiating power here. It's just they have to sign him. They've been relevant for the first time in 3 decades, and they'd be better off I think they would be better off signing him now than waiting a year. It just gets more expensive.
I thought even last year.
Yeah.
Just get him on the books there.
Pull the Band-Aid.
Well, look at what Buffalo did with Josh Allen. Got ahead of the game. And now you look at his contract. What did he get? $140 million guaranteed, something like that? I mean, that's a bargain. Now you might have to redo that contract in a couple of years here, but the Chiefs are redoing that now with Patrick Mahomes. Just get him on the books. Then you can, kind of restructure those deals. Although I will say that when you have these quarterbacks, like if you said, oh, man, what are we going to do with Justin Herbert? No, you have Justin Herbert. That's not the problem. It's, the money aspect. The hard part, the real issue is when you don't have these quarterbacks and you go, what are we going to do? I'd rather have what are we going to do and I have to pay these guys because they are the exception right now.